A little bit.
We interrupt L'Orange and maple syrup talk to bring you this Masquerade.
Does that mean you're just going to speak in French this entire time now?
Yeah, if you want.
It would be in character too because he's also from Quebec. So, hey.
Yeah. And we get some of that good hick Quebec accent.
So I have written down that Strauss, who we don't like, is the herald / seneschal.
Ah.
And someone named Clarence is the sheriff.
Yeah, the guy that looks like...
Oh, yeah,
Alright,
Lurch.
hold on. Clarence is the sheriff.
Yeah, Clarence owns the hotel with Everett.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Clarence is Lurch. He's that tall fella.
That's right. Yeah.
Where's Strauss?
Because he doesn't have a family name, Pip short circuits every time she has to address him.
Yeah.
So true.
Although at some point I do want to hear John list off all the things you can do with maple syrup, like the Bubba scene from Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah.
Maple butter, maple bars, maple pancakes.
I'll record it for you, Tony, in various rooms of my house so it looks like it's at various times of day. I'll make it happen.
Sweet montage, yes.
Man, you wouldn't even do something like that for me. What is up with that?
Obviously, the bro code is better than the bitch code.
Yep. Seems like it.
I think it's fair to say
This department.
he and I and he and you have very different relationships.
No, I get it. I understand.
I wouldn't say one is better than the other. You know, I think they're both special.
They're different. You can't
Well said.
Does anyone have who's the deputy or the scourge? Do we have those?
I don't know where I put all that in here.
I don't have anything written down.
I'm sure it's in here. I just got to figure out where.
Right. I resisted the urge when Tony asked to be a shit and be like Duke Klaus and Dermot.
And then what did I post? So
Oh no, I died.
I held back the reflex.
Klaus the Duke.
So if Susan's a Primogen,
oh, she's the prim. Okay, cool, thanks.
but of what though?
Corridor.
Are you sure? No.
She's the
that's-
other French lady.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's Torador?
Yes,
Last
the first
time-
one is the corridor.
Because Strauss is also the Tremere Primogen.
No, Bert's the Tremere Primogen.
Yeah, it's Bert.
Bert's the Tremere Primogen.
Bert's the Tremere
I know I wrote this stuff down, but I just don't
Yeah.
know where.
Okay.
It is.
That's what I have written down.
Okay.
Your E, your capital E, makes it look like his name is Von Fuckbert.
I mean, all right.
In some circles,
Maybe that's what his wife thinks.
But the little at the end of the bottom of the E where you kind of give up on the E.
he is a man of many social circles. In some circles, this may be the name.
It could be a fuckbert. We don't know. Hang out with the Loppers later, so.
Where is it in here?
Okay, so
You
then
don't need that Fuckbert in your life.
Susan is the Corridor Primogen.
Yeah, that's what I have written down.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 4 dialects of French in court.
Yeah.
And 2
Yeah, I do remember
Central
that.
European dialects.
So we don't have a scourge,
I don't know.
deputy, a whip, or a harpy. Harpy? Harpy.
I think it happened before.
I've
Like,
only ever heard of a scourge
Oh, yeah.
as far as
definitely.
We had
You
it
were a
like that.
scourge.
That's when we arrived.
Huh?
You were a
You
scourge.
were a
Great
scourge.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as court positions go in general, I've never heard of there being a whip, a deputy, or another thing. So we never had those in any of our other
No,
courts.
we didn't.
You
but
were
there-
also a deputy.
Was I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you couldn't officially be the sheriff because you were an Assamite.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But
Maybe.
whips and harpies are usually unofficial
No.
titles that are given to members of the court.
Oh
when they
man,
come.
really? Yeah, probably is then. Well, my old notebook is upstairs.
Um,
Oh well.
I know as much about the court as Russ does, by which I mean nothing.
oh,
I know about it, but it's in my old notebook.
Do we have a gangrel primogen?
I'm gonna go
No,
get
but I
it.
forgot to write them down on the list of primogens.
Okay.
John is going to fetch it from the attic, apparently.
Oh,
See what's
apparently, so Raldolph is the court magician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, I remember what my character is.
Okay, I think that's it. That I found.
Yeah, the only ones that I have written down are magician, sheriff, and seneschal. I don't even think I wrote the prince down.
That's Vanavar. What's his face?
Vanavar
Yeah,
Tom.
there it is. I
didn't know he was officially the prince, though.
Yeah.
think he was going to be the prince.
Yeah.
He ran unopposed.
Yeah.
So
Vanavar, right?
Yeah.
on your first
Yeah, I
court, he was like, "Yep, it's me."
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you were
he
like,
did.
Yeah, hail the king. Cool.
I don't want a spot in the court, so I don't care. I don't even know if I can entirely follow what's going on in court because of my unique condition.
Are you kidding?
Oh,
You could,
that.
you could fill
No,
4 different
no.
positions.
Wait, you brought everything?
You're gonna need these things sooner or later.
You didn't know which one I needed?
No, I need that.
No, see, Sally, the thing is that
These are nice
one of
things.
you would have to be the sheriff, and you just have the rest of your other people be deputies. Oh, I don't know.
You could just have me be 4 positions in one then.
Yeah.
No, that would be awful. Okay. Well, what is going on here? Where is this? I want to go snooping about in town. Okay, that was after.
Oh shit! I knew I should have told you to grab that.
What's that?
Hoping next week I can clean up this floor and clean it. Okay, cool. So yeah, no, that's all we have so far, as I can remember. And of course, there are like 5 names I need to fill in. Or
Did you slump Lydia anywhere?
Lydia and Rogelio do not have ranks in the court for specific reasons.
Perfect.
They need to be.
That may be something of note for you all, that they seem to be people of importance, but do not actually have titles in the court.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which might suggest that they're like whips or scourges or deputies or harpies unofficially.
Wait, what's a harpy?
Harpies are usually just gossipers.
Oh,
They are like the tastemakers / social pulse of the court.
Well, that would
They're old timey influencers for vampire courts.
Yeah.
be fluttery around.
okay. German Scottish guy.
No, it's
It says here Lydia announces herself as Harold. That was before, though, right?
Oh yeah. Well, now that there's actually a prince, there's no more need for a herald.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That makes sense. Okay. I already knew that Dermot was the keeper of Elysium.
Dermot McDonough is the keeper of Elysium, but I don't know. That's kind of like being a whip or a. It's halfway between having a rank in the court and an unofficial position.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It's being the bartender at the speakeasy, basically.
A bunch of games. Okay. Wait. Yes. Man, how many vampire games have we missed that time?
Yes.
Brokeback Coastline.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Then Klaus? What? Klaus was the herald? Klaus?
No.
There is no
Klaus is
Klaus.
the Duke.
Klaus
There,
is the-
there is no
No,
cloud.
this is what it says right there.
Duke Klaus.
He's Strauss.
Klaus
Yeah,
is
but that
Duke.
position doesn't exist anymore.
I don't know why.
Klaus.
I'm using you to reinforce that that person does not exist.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the Duke. For all we know, he's the same Duke in every game.
Yeah.
He's just known as Klaus here, but that's obviously an alias.
Klaus
Yep.
the Duke is asleep in the woods.
Okay, I'm remembering now that the last time we really heard the titles were when we officially presented ourselves, but I can't find that
Well,
necessarily.
I think we have the meat of it here.
Just you wait till you get to the end of the work arc and you find out that Klaus is actually the guy in charge of all the vampires.
But seriously though, we can totally move on. I'm just curious about where I put it in here. Virgilio enters using butt stuff. Mhm.
What was that?
Talking about Rogelio and butt stuff.
Ah,
Yeah, Rogelio entered using butt stuff.
That's how I wrote it.
Yep.
Okay, well,
totally
It's
accurate.
getting out of hand, guys.
I don't see how so.
wait, I found it. Oh wait, okay. Strauss is Seneschal, we know that. Sheriff is Clarence. Primogens. Tremere is Eckbert, of course. Ventrue is Hannah. Toreador is Suzanne Rochelle.
Oh, you're the Primogen.
Oh, I am the Primogen here. Wait, I was gonna say I thought I asked, and then we weren't.
Hey,
Gangrel, Malkavian, Nosferatu are empty, but blah blah blah. Magician Sveldoth. I mean, I think that's it. That's all I got. So I guess.
Yeah.
What I got?
or at least we got that. We collectively remember Hannah is the Primogen.
Right, which is kind of why Hannah was all like, "What do you mean? I don't know what's going on with the."
Well, there you go. You got like
Who are these people that
recorded proof.
Oh, these people coming on the boat.
The people coming on the boat and the fact that it was moved. Like Hannah's all like, I know I've only been gone for like a couple of months, but y'all could have told me.
Yeah,
We've been gone for a couple months. We've been gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It feels like a couple months. But either way, Hannah's
Well,
like,
for us, it was a couple months. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you were indeed out and about.
Yes.
We probably could have been better about keeping you up to date with that.
okay.
However, Prince's advocate, if you will, it's the Seneschal's duty to set up court, and there's new people coming in who are like pseudo celebrities, and so like they're gonna welcome them the first night they're on shore. So it's kind of like, you know, you have a standing invitation to the party. They just moved the locale of the event, but you still found out a few nights before the party.
Yeah.
So it's like rude, but not like offensive. No, this is very much part of like the game. It could have either been a
Okay.
total mistake, or it can be a vicious slight.
Yeah, which is why Hannah's
Yeah.
like, fuck.
No, I love where your eyebrows are.
Okay.
Right over your head.
well, that's the same thing with Pip and Everett. It's like, oh, well, you know, they could have just been like, oh, we needed a bigger place, so we moved it over there. No, no harm, no foul. Or we're taking it away from you because you're not here.
Right.
So
This is why Russ stays out of politics, because he doesn't have to deal with this kind of heavy bullshit.
yeah.
This is the usual vampire game show. Vicious barb or legitimate fuck up? You decide.
I mean, Frankie was just like, you know, that's kind of shitty, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm done talking about this now. It's good.
Where did you
Fine.
all leave off? Weren't you guys like traipsing around the city somewhere at this point?
No, we went to Bert's to be like, "Sup, Bert? What's going on? Here's what we were out."
Yeah, it says here we'll continue next time with more discussion and then festivities upstairs.
Yeah, we just had arrived at Bert's.
And
Please.
and Bert was telling us about some of the peeps that are going to be at this party.
Oh yeah, including that doctor that thinks we're living in a simulation.
Right, Dr. Stoshka, and then this other dude who's Gutierrez's friend. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Oh, right. Yeah, he has a nickname.
Bummer.
Wait, his name is
It's Percival Beaumont Gutierrez.
Bummer and Lazarus were Emperor Norton's dogs.
Nice.
Or more specifically, they were dogs that followed him around and that
Yeah.
he hated, but everyone thought they were his dogs.
That sounds like something that would happen.
That's your life now.
Look at that cheeky smile.
Yeah,
Megan said something you didn't hear.
I did. Something about Lazarus? That part?
No.
Oh, then no, I didn't hear the other part.
Megan.
What?
No, he was asking you to repeat it because just didn't hear.
Bummer and Lazarus were dogs that hung around with Emperor Norton that he did not actually appreciate, but everybody thought were his dogs. So like newspapers would print it that they were like, "Oh, Emperor Norton and his dogs," and he'd be like, "Those aren't my fucking dogs."
So now there's a Bummer and a Lazarus in the game.
Yeah, and when one of them died, it got stuffed and put up in a bar so they could be like, "Look, the dog."
Huh.
His most imperial majesty's dog.
Yes.
He vociferously proclaimed, "That's not my fucking dog."
So we're going to a boat? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, there's going to be a reception. Is that where Court is?
Yeah.
On the boat today?
Yes. Court is on the fancy boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all in my duds and stuff, so
But we're still at Bruce right now.
Yeah, you guys
Okay,
are
it's not,
chilling.
it's not the next day yet.
You guys are chilling with the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to see us, I guess, for a
Like,
congratulations
Yeah.
/ debut.
Tell me how it went.
Yeah.
Maxing, relaxing, playing b-ball outside of the school.
wow. So who is the Fresh Prince then?
Bert.
Yeah, Vannevar Thomas. He just became
Yeah.
He's extra fresh right now.
So,
freshly.
Yeah.
The
It's
freshest prince.
the freshest prince.
Yep.
so what's Bert
Right, I'm
doing?
doing this
Howdy.
video.
Lisa, you
Okay.
were there the whole time, right? Or did you miss part of it?
What?
Here the whole time.
Oh, you were there the whole time. Okay.
What do you mean? Was I not here?
I thought I heard you be like, "Tell me what happened," and I was like, "I thought you were."
No,
here.
I said, okay, I'm done with y'all. I'm leaving.
Out. I was the one that wasn't here for that.
Yeah, no, I played in my mom's closet, remember?
Yes. Haha, coming out of the closet. So cool. And then it sounds like Megan got caught up already on what happened, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Bert's there giving you the rundown on the boat. And you guys are kind of debriefing about the ridiculous things that occurred across the greater Bay Area. There is lots of Mein Gott and oh yeah.
There's a horse, man on fire.
Similarly, sort of exclaiming loudly in Spanish, intensifying. And so there's giggles and pontification on repercussions thereof in regards to some of the other supernatural creatures you encountered along the way.
Oh, excuse me. Ugh. Miss Allen and I had asked about the dead people that were in pain, the cacophonous ones in the beginning.
Oh yeah, like under the ground, where the ground felt hollow.
Yeah, and then I could just hear the screaming and wailing of hundreds of people.
He mentions that. What?
I said that wasn't the mission, right?
No, it wasn't, but it happened during the mission. It was like the first place we went, the first or second.
Yeah, we got chased off the road by some guys in a cart, and when we were like trying to figure out what was going on, and I asked the horse what was going on. The horse was like, "Ground feels weird."
Yeah.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
That was before we got to the mission.
Yes.
Jaren, that may be the best report I have heard in a long time. Some dudes chased us off the road, and then I asked the horse, and the ground felt hollow to him, so I don't know.
So I realize now that Megan asked if it was before we got to the mission, and I thought she was like, is that part of the mission? And I'm like,
That's what I thought too, and my notes are now very confusing.
No, I meant the mission specifically, like Mission San Jose.
yeah, no, I thought you meant like it was our mission to go there. And I'm like,
So
too many missions.
Between modern day Belmont and modern day Santa Clara, you guys remembered or saw some of the Murphys derouted to avoid them because you're convinced they're hunters. And then right before Mission Santa Clara, you guys encountered this situation.
Yes.
Okay, so it was by a mission.
It would be closer to where modern day Cupertino, Sunnyvale, Mountain View is.
Okay.
Where this phenomena occurred. Do.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing we'll talk about, but like I don't think any of us knew what was going on there overall. So
I don't even know who I was when it happened.
Pretty sure you were Tasha.
I was dead at the time.
Tosh doesn't know about anything.
I was on the move.
Yeah, because
with
you're
Steve.
in a position where I have to keep track of this shit more than you do.
Dad.
You gotta keep track of your kid, I guess.
Yep.
Regardless of what phase she's in right now. It's just a phase.
Yep.
It's a phase.
I gotta keep track of
It'll be over
what
tomorrow.
is active at any given time.
So yeah, Pip and Hannah asked about that, if Bert knew what was going on there, because they wanted to fix it because it felt so terrible.
Yeah, no, he's like, no, that sounds fascinating. I have no idea what that is. He's like, I mean, I would not think it unlikely that anywhere near one of these missions there would be a lot of upset souls due to some of the treatment of the natives. So like that part kind of makes sense on its own.
Bert's so tired he lost his accent.
But what you described concentrated in the specific area underground, maybe it was a masquerade of some sort.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we pretty much just bring up everything else of like, oh, hey, yeah, there's a horse and a man on fire. A guy shot lightning at us.
Yeah.
Are there things we aren't supposed to talk about? Like, do we ever agree on that?
We punched a river.
Yeah.
I think Pip is going to refrain from talking about the ferry incident.
We already mentioned the dragon, though.
Yes, but we only mentioned the dragon.
Okay.
But we did not mention that we picked up a fairy princess.
Miss Allen outed you.
Miss Allen reported.
Fucking rude, Miss Allen.
And
well.
we're here. We talk about these things.
I am required to report.
I
That
mean,
is one of the few times.
it's very ventru. It's very ventru of you,
Yep.
Anna.
That was the most
Tell you.
accusatory. Like, I work here, contrary to you fuckers.
Eh.
Basically.
There's just some
Basically.
things you don't talk about.
I have
I work
Personal-
here.
support.
I work here, but I'm just a janitor, so I'm not privy to any of this shit. It's above my pay grade.
Hey, I asked.
Does Bert have anything that we need to deal with before? Like, do we have anything we need to deal with overall before we go to court?
He's like, no, not at all. You have performed admirably in the service of the court, and as far as I'm concerned, you deserve any and all accolades that will be bestowed upon you, and then some, because most courts are kind of stingy in that regard.
Lovely.
We've noticed. Am I supposed to say that? Oh, whatever.
I mean, you
Probably not.
can speak frankly here, as this space is fairly as safe as any space can be.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just, I mean, if Tasha ends up coming up, like, I can't, no guarantees. Sorry.
Tasha?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
other one.
yeah. It's going on my head. Sometimes other people take over. It's the thing. I've been living with it for a while. But I don't think all of them are aware. I'm fairly aware. Is this weirding anyone out? I am Malkavian. You know that, right?
All of these things continue to make more sense. No, please keep going.
Yeah, I was pretty much done.
Okay. Do you know how many of theirs you are?
I mean, there's 3 others, as far as I know. I don't know if there are others that just are hiding from me. Wouldn't know.
He kind of looks around at the rest of the crew like, are there only 4?
No, only the 4 come out. At least they have been as long as I've known him.
Yeah, the others are mostly okay. Tasha just needs more coaching. Also, make sure she's not bored. That's all I understand of it. Whenever she writes things that I get to see, it's mostly just crayon drawings of, I don't know, things that she thinks are cute.
Interesting.
If
How would you feel about... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. It's fine.
How would you feel about giving me a sample of your blood?
Hannah raises an eyebrow like,
No? Why?
No, that's okay. Well, I study it. You know, it is our greatest asset, and any variations on the normal path... he's sliding across the Maginot Line.
I mean, do I get anything out of it?
I could offer you boons, sure.
What does that mean?
The gifts in exchange.
Okay.
Now, actually,
What do you think, Dan?
That is entirely up to you. I don't think there's any courtly obligation to this.
No. This is totally isn't this totally like a basement deal or whatever? It's because it's a basement. It's not a back room.
excellent observation. Yeah, no, you are not beholden to this. Would be purely transactional. No, and of course I asked
Academical.
instead of.
I think the good sir is a scholar, and I think would appreciate the opportunity to study what might have caused your condition. That said, up to you. This is your blood. You do what you want with it.
I don't know though. I feel like Bear Dad's gonna say no. I think I'm just gonna say no. It's got to be both, you know. I'm not comfortable otherwise.
That's fine. That's understandable. The blood is very powerful, so you know anyone else to possess it, it could be potentially used against you. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
Russ kind of pipes up and he says, I apologize there, but if and we don't really have anything else we need to be doing here, I feel like this room is a little stuffy for my tastes, and we're going to have to deal with quite a bit of stuffiness in a couple of days here. I think I'm going to be leaving you all to your revelry and heading off just to do a little bit of riding around, give Sasha a good ride around so she can get some of her energy out. When do we need to be meeting up for the court?
Court is 2 nights from now, so you'll have tomorrow night, and then the night after that will be court.
Okay.
So, like, if we have some things that looks appealing upstairs, please take your fill of it. You can even enjoy it on the veranda if you like, and then by all means, please.
I'm assuming by which he means food.
Yes, humans.
Humans upstairs for you.
Yeah, there wasn't any silverware up to the filch. No, I didn't say that out loud.
Russ is still kind of squeamish about the idea of the people who are willing to just be feed bags, basically. So he's like, I'll pass. It's all right.
I was like, does he feel this way as literally Patty is like sitting on the floor with her head in Philippa's lap? Like,
No. He acknowledges that it's fine for you guys.
He's gonna do his own. That's fine.
Having this dude offer him somebody else to eat. It's like, no, he wants to work for his own food.
hey,
Y'all can be godless heathens all you want. That's your American right. But
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Russ doesn't want to be fed. Russ wants to hunt.
Yeah.
it tastes better when they're running from you.
Yeah.
Well,
I like to run first because I don't feel bad about it afterwards.
be seeing you, Russ. You take care. All right. You hit me up if you need anything. Meanwhile.
Oh yeah.
Marisol walks you out, or at least upstairs. So I don't know how awkward or comfy that is for you.
Yeah, no. Russ is just he does not need to partake in the social niceties until he kind of feels like he has to.
Sure.
So he's mostly going to be trying to take the next 2 nights to decompress until he has to go put on a suit and be presentable.
Right. But yeah, you get to the top of the stairs, and she sort of pseudo passes you off to what was his name? Joseph or Timothy? The butler.
Timothy Bean.
Yeah, the he who buttles, and then he sort of just stands there in a perfunctory manner as he holds the door for you. It's not super low, no spoon required.
Yep.
But yeah, for everyone else who hangs out, are there any other particulars that you wish to bone pick with Bert?
No.
You can each refill up to 6 dots of blood if you partake in Bert's offerings, which are
His harem?
he actually hosts a little
2-party?
no. He has brought in some believers and convinced them that the house is having a seance currently going on.
Nice.
I mean, he is an actual wizard, so
That is true.
Oh, goodness.
He puts on his robe and wizard hat.
yep.
This is but a prequel to what will come later.
When Bert was actually hanging with the larpers, did he actually larp or lop, or did
Lop.
he just eat the larpers?
Nobody. I ran this game for 3 years, expecting at some point somebody was gonna follow him
Nope.
to fucking appointments to see what was actually happening.
No, we all believed he was so weird. We all believed he actually was
For all
LARPing,
you knew-
and he was just weird.
That is true.
For all you knew, he was running a bootleg VHS operation out of a warehouse, and that's what he
That sounds about right.
Like Ira was not the type to do so.
I think you all confirmed Death Guild, and I think you all confirmed Blue Albatross. But other than that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't-
She wouldn't stay to see what happened.
Blue Albatross happened in game because you showed up at that location, and there was quite a few folks quite taken by Bert's mustache, and then
Yes.
he turned them into his own personal army.
shout out to the Death Guild, though. If anyone's watching right now or watching later, go watch that live stream every Monday about 9:30, 10. It lights up, and go be sad OG goths with everyone else in the chat. Donate, keep it alive.
For what it's worth, Tony, Russ is going to basically take the next night to go hunting and actual animal hunting. So he'll go out. He's going to go off and refill his blood his preferred way, which is with bears.
Practically defenestration.
New Grizzlies when it stinks.
Yeah, I'm only one man.
You're kind of like 2.5.
That's true.
Charlie Sheen.
I turn into a bear, and then they like me because they think I'm a bear, and I'm good with bears, and then I eat them.
So I think I have confirmation
Betrayal.
Sasha actually leaves our yard because she smells like wood fire.
Oh, kitty getting out.
Well,
She's
good, though.
She's having parties with all her cat friends behind their parents' backs.
Wow.
We're not supposed to shame them, but I know she a fucking slut.
Drinking fucking wine coolers.
in empty pools, they're just around tuna cans. It's terrible.
Yeah.
They're just letting their shame all hang out.
Okay, so the Von Eckerberts show you a lovely evening. There's a little bit of silliness as you can pseudo masquerade break within the context of this charade.
Oh man, if we're having a seance, fucking Pip is having a great time. Like she's
yeah.
she's
Yeah,
totally
I
like,
was about to say,
yes.
Nana's like,
like,
are we pretending? Is this real? What are we doing?
There's no actual ghosts that you've been able to attract in the Eckerbert home. But you kind of flex those muscles and get a little heebie-jeebie out of the humans.
I mean, depending on what feel you wanna evoke, I can come out of a closet. That will do it.
Just
Do they have like a really cheesy cape with like a really high collar, like this high?
We need to find a glass bowl that we can put over your head, so that it can just look like it's a floating. It's like looks like you're in a floating orb. Just like flying around.
It's actually a lovely little bit of a time. I think Bill, even you might appreciate the sort of showmanship involved in this situation. And at the end of the evening, you guys toddle off into the windy, hilly streets of the new San Francisco. And head back to the... What's that?
If we head back early enough, Everett and I might want to poke our heads into the new Elysium.
He is game if you are, dear. I'm curious at the very least. Would anyone else like to join the Sterlings and Patty?
I mean, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Same.
Hey,
Hannah will join them.
Britt
And
and Patty.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Just curious.
Yeah, we're all just curious in a whole mob, which is a whole mob of curious.
And I mean, if we're annoyed enough at shit, I don't want to. It's Dermot
McDonough.
Donna.
Thank you.
Dermot McDonald.
Dermot McDermott.
I mean, if you need somebody to kick some shit around, like I'm your guy.
No, it's more along the lines of like, if we're annoyed enough with him, I might just sing a waltz.
Oh, you know his weakness.
Yes. So
Damn it, Megan. Now I want to write cover lyrics for all of that fucking musical, and I hate you.
What have you wrought?
We'll see if it sticks. We'll see. But
In the tomb where it happened.
well,
Hey,
like,
Craig.
as soon as she said "and Patty," my brain was like, "In the city, 1849." Anyway,
no, no. You're not gonna follow.
You all walk arm in arm, high kicking down the streets of the city.
Except for who walks behind you shaking her head.
No, you're there too. And
I can just
you
imagine
guys
the, like
wend
crude
your way
animation of this
towards
part of
an area of the city that is newly built up, and obviously there's been some money injected into this section as everything's sort of new and shiny, and busy for this time of day, whereas some of the other sections of the city are obviously were obviously built by mortals for mortal hours, whereas this section seems to have a bit more of a nightlife, so to speak. You guys turn a corner, and there's sidewalk. There's like wooden pathways instead of just the middle of the street. And it's a good thing too, as there does appear to be a bit of traffic bustling along the road for this hour. And as you turn the corner, you see a cart making its way down the road away from y'all, down the street. And you sort of notice that it looks like it did hit or is about to hit the edge of a sign coming off of a large building. And you see that the sign has a couple in fancy dress dancing hand to hand, and at the bottom it says "The Turned," and then there's a piece of the sign busted away from where it looks like the cart would have hit or did hit. And so you imagine that it would be called the Turned Palm, but now it's just the Turned.
Oh. Oh.
What a proud
It's not the turn.
Elysium tradition.
Well, it should be the Turned Palm,
Oh,
but
now it's just the turned.
yeah. And Everett looks up and goes, "Oh my. Well, I guess this is it."
It's charming, isn't it, dear?
Ah.
Aside from the unfortunate height of the sign, he looks over at the establishment itself, and it's a shiny new dance hall. It's got. Yes. Yes. Can I help you,
Oh, I was like,
ma'am?
man.
Sorry, I got Periscope eyeballs pointed at me just the moment before that, so that's like. Yeah, the place has beautiful lacquered wood. There are lights aglow. It's got a very warm feel to it, and there is a number of couples sort of taking turns on the floor.
How nice is the lacquered wood?
That's pretty nice, Bill.
That's pretty nice.
Thankfully,
You see a reflection in it.
thankfully, the glass is a little steamy from the heat and condensation in the air, so that you're like, if I go in there, it might be bad. So I'm gonna have to like walk in and go to a side so that I don't block the door. Okay.
The glass just distorts it just enough where you're like,
It's like, oh no.
And as you all sort of window shop the place, you see that there's a little corner bar at the far right back. There's some doors that go out. There's a number of French doors that go past that into a little yard behind. You can smell the lingering. You can smell the lingering aroma of a cooking stove that is ready but not currently active. And you see the orb that you imagine is Dermot McDonough orbiting locations in the hall.
For a second, he actually turned into an actual orb.
I mean, by rough shape.
Well, Pippa's interested to go in.
That is fancy.
So it's popping. Like there's.
For like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
Wait, so are they vampires or are they human?
you're not sure.
I mean, it's
You can't tell
Elysium,
the-
so-
those vamps are humans.
It's hazy. Like the condensation makes it so the windows are effectively frosted. But Dermot's unmistakable.
Okay. Well, I would like to go in.
Everett's like, why, yes, my dear. Are you fatigued, or perhaps I could have this dance?
I would love this dance.
Well, I guess that
Just all
decides-
of all her blood at Bert's. She's like, I'm raring to go.
Yeah, he like flings the door open with a flare and
Cool.
like swings you inside, but only just holds on at the other end as he lets others in behind him.
Does anyone else go in?
I mean, I saunter in. I look at Dad.
Well, yeah. Let me pop my polite face on, and then we'll get in.
Phantom of the Opera, this shit.
Yeah.
We're standing outside being like, nah.
If that staircase is too nice, I don't know.
That's it, man.
Specifically if the bar is nice, because that's
yeah.
really what triggers Bill. It's a well-oaked bar with a nice mirror.
Well furnished.
Oh yeah. If everybody else goes inside, after a few minutes of pacing back and forth, I guess Bill will probably be like, nah, fuck it. Go inside.
So, Pip, you and Mr. Sterling take a turn about the room, and it is delightful.
And it's not to talk shit. It's delightful.
Well, he might talk shit with you.
Well, but it's happy shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Usually when one takes a turn about the room, it's
Right.
to talk shit about what's happening. But yes. And I think we're actually having a good time.
Yeah. There is a single violin drawing away, and over the top of the violin, the young lady playing it has quite a voice and only looks a little tired at being up at 3 a.m. Rude.
It's on my character sheet.
We don't use them.
Yeah, throw him.
Bill,
Throw him.
you walk in and you brace yourself, but
Bill puts her hat on
yeah.
and down,
Oh my.
and she's not looking up or making eye contact with anybody.
So thankfully, there's
Her
enough
hat.
glare from the candles that it obscures the wood floor.
Wow.
She's safe there.
The floor is not the issue. It's
It's the bar.
it's anything else that's wood worked. Like the floor can be nice. That's not her trigger. It's the carving and the well polished and the
Yep.
sconces and whatnot is what sets Bill off.
Sconces are really what do it for you.
So she is doing her best to only look at the floor.
So yes, as you guys filter in, Frankie and Abe, you hear a familiar, "Ugh, hey, welcome in. It's good to see ya.
Hey,
Welcome to the new digs. What you think?"
yeah,
This
not bad, not bad.
fancy place you got yourself here.
It's got no soul, but other than that, it's all right.
I mean, it's brand new.
Oh yeah, we're working it in. See, the Sterlings are helping. Well done.
Yep.
We'll see how things go after the next week or two. Gotta get some blood in this wood.
Well, if you need a couple rustic pieces to add to the decor, you tell me.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty rustic.
Oh,
Yes.
rude.
yes.
He's not wrong.
Whatever you got.
I might have a couple of chairs, couple rocking chairs you can put on the porch.
Aye, exactly. The back is barren. I would love some accent pieces. That would be great.
So now
Kind of. Did we work on a chair at some point?
Yeah, we did.
I don't. I think it was
Your
not
sister
me.
painted it in like 3 different colors, so we're not going to use that one. But that's fine. It's your chair.
Ah, ooh, I'm pretty sure they were clashing, and one of them was pastel at least.
I don't know. I told her to express herself. I got what I got.
Hmm.
Abe, feel free if you'd rather. Everyone here this evening. This is a space for our type. So if you'd rather, that's fine. But no one here will say anything,
So everyone in here is vampires.
or at least part of the Masquerade.
Associated. Okay.
Well,
There has to be some room in here if the windows are condensated because vampires don't sweat or breathe.
I wasn't sure, but now that you mention it, and Abe just pops the illusion off. It's weird how you get used to certain things, like even this, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
the other one feels like a disguise now.
I mean, it looks pretty creepy because I know it's not you, so I feel like it's just you have a weird mask on your face.
Oh
Yeah, well-
the other place we get humans all the time that didn't know, so you had to do the thing to do the breathe, and sometimes I do it anyway when I don't need, and I'm like, that's blood,
So how do you keep out just any human from walking in?
Why, of course, Miss Allen, this is a very exclusive club.
We just walked,
Well, yes, you're part of the club.
but no one stopped us. No, I mean no one. I didn't see anyone. Was someone there?
Well, of course, there are a few people here enjoying themselves that would have things to say should someone walk in who's not a member. Yeah, and should the individual see something, Abe, no offense, they would quickly forget about it. Sorry.
Understood.
You see someone over in a corner who's wearing an outfit that looks very out of date. Decent, but may have had an olive complexion at one point. Holding an what, as far as you can tell, is an empty glass. Sort of does the shoulder chuckle and he goes, "Speaking of which, Festus, come introduce yourself."
How fun.
Estes.
And he comes over, he goes, and in a Mediterranean accent, he introduces himself as Hephaestus Cerilius Concordus.
That's fun.
You had a lot of fun with this one. Hephaestus
H-E
Cerilius.
P-H
I'm gonna just go off my own names.
A-E-S-T-U-S.
Mm-hmm.
Night.
It's like,
So just like the god?
Yes.
yes.
S-I-R-I-L-I-U-S.
Oh gosh. S-I-R-I-L-I-U-S. Cerilius.
Oh my God.
And then Concordus. So Concord like the jet, us.
It goes by Festus.
Man, that is.
Yeah.
This is giving me Dark Gauge vibes now.
That's fancy.
And he introduces himself, and he goes, and who do I have the pleasure of making the acquaintance of? And Dermot's like, this here's Abe Murray, a stalwart member of the court, as well as his associate, I believe, Frankie, this evening.
Yep, that's me.
Good man.
You may catch them later as a different person. Keep on your toes. And this, of course, is your...
No.
This is, of course, your colleague as a Primogen, Miss Hannah Allen.
Pleasure.
And Festus goes, yes, which Primogen seat do you hold, if I may ask?
Ventru.
He goes, Bruja, excellent to meet you.
Bruja.
Yes.
What made you decide to come over and stick around?
Art.
Oh boy, it's the person.
Why, yes. Developing places always have fascinating developments in culture, and I wished to be here when things became truly exciting. I've been jokingly called the abandoned Torador.
Ha! Hannah actually goes, ha!
He goes, exactly my thought.
Speaking of abandoning Toradors, where's Patty?
Patty,
Oh no!
Patty
Just
is
sitting
like-
outside.
Yeah, Patty is wallflowering, sort of like dancing along on the side, sort of like two-stepping back and forth.
Poor
You
Patty.
get the sense that because she came in with you guys, she's recognized as either yours or someone to not be trifled with.
Yeah.
So yes, he's like, I sure hope that certain parts of my lineage ring true, whereas others are unfounded.
Hannah just sort of nods at him. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, and I drew a short straw, so I'm helping with security this evening.
Okay.
A few of us take turns giving Dermot here a hand. If any of you wish to join the rotation, let him know and he'll add you to the calendar. And Dermot's like, it's fine. Some of these yahoos get bored and want the free dinner, so I let them in.
Suppose that's one way to do business.
Festus is like, none of these things are inaccurate.
I'm sorry, Festus, how long have you been in town?
Oh, a few months. I was out of town when the big reveal happened.
I see.
I'm guessing, as you were not here last court, you were part of the big ritual, the great, magnificent mojo that was done to keep our fair land safe. Yes.
Yes.
Magnificent mojo.
And you all came back in one piece.
That's a way to call it.
Hannah just sort of stares as like, yes.
I mean, yeah, I only remember about a fourth of it, but
I was like, 4 of us were a little worse for wear for a minute there.
Yes.
While you guys are dancing, Everett does note that our friends are making friends.
Oh,
Perhaps after this song, we should also make their acquaintance, or shall we keep going?
no, I think it's in best taste that we also make their acquaintance.
So he's like, yes, this ritual was the talk of the city. In that, well, to be frank, some people thought it was silly, and others believed that it would make the masquerade unnecessary, and that we could rampage through the night as the lords of darkness we are. I personally felt it was right in between, and am glad to see that no one was worse for wear for it.
Yeah.
That's the hot talk there.
Yeah, I
We
can
shall see
see
if
that. I
it's-
can feel that building right there. I'm not even looking, and it's
As
just
that
like
is also under debate, but
Hannah's just sort of like, given what we went through, I also hope it is very effective.
time will tell.
If there's gaps into it, we'll hunt down any and all of these son of a bitches if they come up.
Dermot gives a ha, and Festus is like, well spoken. Yeah, water, please. Either.
Don't you fucking.
Oh, she's doing it.
Don't
She's
fucking
she's.
do
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
You're getting a side of shrimp.
Yep. That's
Oh.
my chair. That's my chair. That's my chair.
No, she's people now.
Not anymore.
Jerk.
No, we'll see if we get the
we were just
eyeballs here.
temporarily warming it for it.
Yeah.
I've been lost.
Immediate. Look at that face.
She knows what's good.
So yeah. Festus is sort of shooting the shit, and the person on the fiddle, who's occasionally adding vocalizations to the music, comes to an end of a particularly sustained note and stops. The assembled give the polite clap, right? It's rather all quite lovely. Pip, please make me a roll.
Oh God.
The room starts spinning around you.
Self-control, yeah.
Yes, please. Difficulty 6.
I botch.
Yeah.
I've got a 3, a 2, and a 1.
Lovely. Lovely.
I'm
Oh,
doing my best imitation of a historical mannequin.
You all notice as Mr. Sterling seems to be canoodling with Mrs. Sterling in the middle of the floor. How unseemly.
Wow.
Uh,
Look at that.
Well,
um,
there she goes.
Bill,
Yeah.
how goes your quest to explore the space without seeing anything?
I mean, she hasn't had a reason to move or speak to anyone yet, so
Oh, you're not meeting Hephaestus?
I don't know. He didn't. No one introduced me to him, so I guess I'm not. So it's going well.
Did you come by that group? Otherwise, I'm sorry, or I would have introduced you as well.
I mean, I came in the building.
Okay.
I imagine I would have followed the voices
Okay.
to where people I know are.
just following around.
Yeah, with my hat down, looking at the floor.
Make me a wits plus alertness to navigate without taking a full glance at the room.
Difficulty 6, I'm guessing.
Yeah, let's do 6.
4.
You're good. You're doing that good wide brim cowboy acting through the room. You know, it's very dramatic. And you actually hear Dermot be like, all right, so those are the Sterlings. Apparently they are enjoying the atmosphere quite much. Good for them. And this lady here, this is Bill, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's me. Nice.
Festus goes, hello, Bill.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And she holds her hand out for a handshake, but she still doesn't look up.
Yeah. And you see a decently strong, not too calloused hand come out, grasp yours. He goes, Festus Aurelius Concordus. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Bill. How you doing?
Nice. Is there anything shorter I can call you? Not rude.
Festus is fine.
Well, sorry, what was that?
Festus is fine.
Okay, Festus. Yeah, that works. Nice to meet you.
I'm surprised you didn't pop out with Fester.
Yeah, you new here? I don't think I've ever heard your voice before.
He goes, oh, right. No, I was just sharing with Primogen Allen here that I was out on business temporarily when the first official court was held, and then returned after you had all gone out on your excursion, as I believe you were part of this party?
Oh yeah, that bullshit. Yeah, I was there for that.
Oh,
Not entirely on purpose.
what was that?
She said she was there, but not entirely on purpose.
He actually gives what you all approximate as a fairly heartfelt laugh, and he's like, "Isn't that always how it goes with court business?"
I suppose so. I wouldn't really know, but it seems like.
He sort of cocks his head. He's like, "May I be so bold as to imagine that you've not been part of court life for very long?"
Nah. This is kind of, well, I guess it's not the first one, but kind of, yeah.
He goes, "Nothing wrong with that. This myself is my second, but I was at that first one for quite a while, so you you get used to it, you get bored of some of it, most of it, but it has its advantages."
It's hard to stay up.
She's like, "Oh well, yeah. Seems like. Well, it was nice to meet you. Still hasn't looked up. All of this is said through the hat.
Right.
Are you okay, Bill?
It's fine.
I don't know. The floor seems really interesting.
It's very interesting. I would like to keep looking.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, whatever.
It's a good floor.
Sturdy. Good wood." She like stomps on it.
Feels good on my boots.
Yep.
Festus and Dermot sort of exchange glances, and does Dermot have any idea?
Well, Dermot's a Toreador also, and I think I zoned out in front of him once.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. Dermot would nudge Festus and be like, "She's part of my bloodline, so she... Bill, don't go near the bar."
Thank you. I appreciate your heads up.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Look, that isn't the bar, because I don't really feel pain anymore, but if I did, I feel my neck would be hurting.
He's like, "Are you familiar with clocks, Bill?"
Yes.
Okay. Avoid your 12 to your 3. Everywhere else should be fine.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Right.
She turns and looks back up.
So you look up and you're like, excellent. These windows and sconces are nice, but not too nice.
They're perfectly adequate.
Nice enough.
And,
They're nice, but not amazing.
Entirely adequate sconces.
Right.
You
feel
can
like-
see a little bit of traffic going to and from this sector, where you are pretty sure the bar is, where you saw earlier through the panes, obscured.
Yeah. It's like looking at you don't look straight at the basilisk, but you can look at the reflection of the basilisk, and you only get petrified, you don't die.
Yep.
So
Right.
Festus goes, "Pleasure to make your acquaintance again, Bill."
yeah, of course. Where is Festus in regards to where Bill shouldn't be looking?
He's at about 11 o'clock, so he's safe.
Okay.
Nice.
Actually, he would be closer to 9:10, yeah.
Okay. Well, then she actually looks him in the face and says, "Evening."
Yeah. He was holding up the wall, and then Dermot came over, and so you would sort of be in a triangle situation. So yeah, no, it's good. Prime content.
Yeah.
I
I-
am stuck.
I was like, look at that face. It's pretty great.
How's your life?
What are you doing?
Trying to get her to look towards the camera. There we go.
Aw.
It's the two orbs.
Yep.
So yes, Miss Allen, after several long, excruciating moments of you hearing Everett's delightful drawl whisper into your ear that you're
Do you mean
just
Miss
fine.
Sterling?
Huh?
Yeah, he said Miss Allen. I think he meant Miss Sterling.
Scandalous.
I know, right? I was like, excuse you.
Dear.
Like, do we all
What
see
is
this?
happening?
Why is Everett whispering in Hannah's ear?
I know, right?
You moving in on my
I
husband?
forget.
The
There's
real-
100 names. What are you gonna do?
The real twist of this game is that we're all Frankie.
Booper.
Wow.
Identity, we're all just different manifestations.
You all are just part of my imagination.
That's why it gets mixed up periodically.
The
It's
entire
gonna drink some blood. I ate a weird mushroom and just this has been my life
Okay,
since
that's
then.
enough. That's enough.
Morse code.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everett leads into
Yes.
Mrs. Sterling.
Sterling, yes.
Pip is getting all the reassuring drawl as he holds her up there in the middle of the floor.
Just
It looks like the the bard in the corner was gonna get like a drink or take a break, but you see Everett sort of like wave and like sort of snap and the person seems like and like starts another song, and some people come back out on the dance floor, and as the social tone shifts, Pip, you drift back into yourself.
how long was I out?
He's like, "Oh, not but a few moments, not to worry."
Well, I get to go meet everyone now.
Yes, especially after this very close cuddle we've had out here in the middle of everybody.
Oh, Everett, couldn't you have just taken me somewhere else?
I apologize. Next time I will sweep you off your feet and take you back to our rooms.
Terrible giggle and Everett.
It's so embarrassing. Couldn't you have
Oh,
just
you're
killed
so
me?
bad.
Yes, if you pick me up and take me away, that's fine. But if you canoodle me in public amongst people,
This is so embarrassing. Couldn't you have just killed me? Well, not again, my dear.
you've done it once before. Well, technically,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I would say technically he did it.
Yeah, he did do it, but she was like, she only needed an inch
He
to die.
Yeah, someone loosened the jar for him. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not so
He got his pickle.
he was the one to put the pickle in him. Anyway, all right. So pickle jokes. That's what you came for.
Okay.
Pickle jokes and cats.
I've ever seen.
Pickles
Wow,
are different.
That's a real cottagecore vibe, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Eventually, you're gonna find. Eventually, you guys are gonna be riding along somewhere, and you're gonna find. You're gonna be like, you're gonna hear a voice shouting up at you from the ground. You're looking around and be like, "Where's that coming from?" And you look down, and it'll be Fred's voice. And be like, "Here, look! I turned myself into a pickle."
Why, Frederick? Why?
My life's work is complete.
And then around the pickle,
So long for.
a Fred trio appears out of the ground.
Oh no.
So yes, Mr. Sterling drives into this social situation, dominating it like a star basketball player, and he goes, "Why, hello, good evening. Who is this fascinating gentleman?" Actually, he's turning into Christopher
he
Walken
is.
there for a minute.
Yes. He is.
Yeah.
Kind of all over the place.
He goes, "Mr. Concordus, my dear gentleman, how are you? Welcome back." Yeah, he's both. He's Southern Christopher Walken now. I don't care.
He's a great dancer, so.
Yeah, and Festus is like, "Everett, welcome back. Good to see you all in one piece." And he's like, of course. It would take more than some silly wards and Tremere magic to keep me from being with my dear for all eternity." He's also sliding into Mitch Hedberg. I don't know where that's coming from. And
Why ever not?
he's like, "Speaking of which, may I introduce my most lovely songbird, Mrs. Philippa Sterling." And you see Hephaestus give sort of a lock up and a deep bow and
And a big curtsy.
and he says, "Mrs. Sterling, I am Hephaestus Cerilius Concordus. It is a exquisite pleasure to make the acquaintance of Mr. Sterling's Mrs. He has told me untold tales."
What was the last name again?
Concordus.
Concordus. Truly, the pleasure is all mine, Mr. Concordus. Thank you.
I have been discussing with your associates the current travels that you all partook on, and it seems that it has not diminished any spirits of sorts that can be seen.
Oh, no. We're all kicking, as it were. Oh, no. Bill's rubbing off on her. She's using slang.
And with that, Pip, make another roll.
I knew it.
He
I was
is.
wondering why it was taking so long.
He fancy as fuck. I know.
If anyone wants to make
Like,
a int plus academics or linguistics roll, feel free.
oh dear.
I zeroed out.
Nope.
Do
Linguistics.
you want to burn a willpower to keep yourself?
No, because I'm still making those back.
Yeah, no.
When you all have a chance, shoot me a text pic of your guys' character sheets or whatever means you have, so I can try and incorporate your guys' nature and demeanor into stuff.
Oh yeah, we have those things.
That is a way that stuff works.
What's the difficulty for this roll?
6.
Okay, I got 3 somehow with my 4 dice.
I got 0.
Yeah, Bill, he's some kind of foreigner. Frankie, he's like Italian, but not Italian.
Buongiorno.
Or maybe Persian. Did anyone else?
I'm too entranced to try to figure out what he is, right?
Oh no, I was just hearing our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, between JC at this end and our neighbors 1 unit over.
There's quite a cack.
Somebody laughing and loud.
Yeah, there's always someone shouting. Anyway. So yeah, Miss Allen locks up again.
Mrs. Sterling.
Mrs. Sterling.
Maybe you should just hold it in front of you so you know who you're talking about.
Pip. Miss Allen. Yeah, maybe. But yes, she locks up and Mr. Sterling sort of chuckles and he's like, "This true," and he's like, "Oh, well, if you'll excuse us," and he like scoops.
Oh, he did say.
Yeah, he like scoops Mrs. Sterling up. See, I almost did it again. And he's like, "I have been instructed explicitly. Pardon us."
Huh?
And he sort of walks away.
Good
towards,
man.
like the doors and out back.
Right?
Pip, make me a perception plus alertness roll. Difficulty 8.
Sheesh.
Oh, you froze?
Yeah, looks like Mr. Picture did.
Oh well. The rest of you don't need the roll. Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
It was really funny because it was like, "Excuse me," and then everybody froze. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, we're leaving now."
Aw.
Yeah, he has picked you up and carted you off towards the like back patio. Make me a perception plus alertness roll, difficulty 8. The rest of you don't need to roll, as you see a gentleman. At least you're pretty sure it's a gentleman, as they're wearing masculine clothing. But from the face, you can't tell if it's even human. As
I
it's
zeroed out
probably-
again.
What? Zeroed out?
I zeroed out again.
No, you pass people. It's the scene from the labyrinth. It's whatever. You don't. Mr. Sterling moves the stars for no one. So
But me.
the rest, right? Dance, magic, dance. The rest of you see. Yes, a person in a smart bowler hat and smart pinstripe tails.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm a little jealous.
And
I'm gonna ask if that guy gets a suit.
it's quite a blessing that he's so immaculately dressed, because his face and ears and neck and every bit of flesh visible is most unfortunate.
Ah.
And you see Festus sort of like look over and he goes, I see. He goes, I see Reginald is here this evening. And Dermot goes,
Oh, rude.
Surprise noise.
What? He does it all the time. He's not there, and then he's there, and that's rude.
We do that.
Aw, it's like Marcus.
I think it is Marcus.
And why, yes, he meanders his way over, and you hear in a crisp British accent, he goes, "Good evening to you all. Festus, Dermot, is Mr. Sterling okay, or is he having dinner?"
Something.
Yes,
Well, he does have a morsel with him.
There are a bunch of them chuckling. And does anyone pipe up before one of the NPCs?
I just look at him as like, His wife needs the vapors.
Has the vapors.
Is it has the vapors or needs the vapors?
Has the
When
vapors.
you have the vapors,
Okay,
you need
has the vapors.
out of
No.
me.
Needs the salt.
I apologize.
His wife has the vapors.
And you see that parts of the skin sort of separate as he turns to look. It's gnarly. And you're like, oh no, different colors, bad. No.
Does Bill see what happened? Is she looking in that direction?
You can just barely.
She like, meh.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, there's a bar over there. I'm not gonna look anywhere over here.
Both of Hannah's eyebrows go up because she's never seen it like this.
Like this afflicted.
Yeah, like, but her expression doesn't change, but both of the eyebrows rise and like, oh.
Oh, well, that is Mrs. Sterling. Oh, well. I guess what he said was quite accurate. Eh, Festus?
Everyone thought he had a girlfriend in Canada.
I had a boyfriend in Canada. Actually.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he had a girlfriend in England.
Miss Allen extends her hand out to be like, I am
Miss-
Miss.
Oh, now you're doing it.
No, that's just me.
That's
Like,
Fred.
that's Ms. Hannah Sterling.
No,
Thanks.
It's infectious.
I'm blaming the Duke.
I hate you so much right now.
You're the dude.
Full of hygiene.
Go back to your castle, Duke.
Paul's the walrus, or I'm the walrus and Paul's dead. Okay.
Oh,
Hannah introduces herself.
Dear.
I cannot.
oh my goodness.
I blame you.
You feel the muscles and ridges as his hand reaches under yours, and you see the bowler obscures the horrendous sight for a moment, thankfully, as he head bows and he goes, "A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am known as Reginald. You must affect surnames A." Festus goes, he goes, "Right, Reggie? Miss Allen is one of our compatriots. He's the Ventru Primogen." He goes, "Pleasure. I represent the Nosferatu. If it was not obvious."
Hannah
Yeah,
just
about it.
Surely not.
shrugs like, whatever.
"And it is good to see a constituent this evening. Who might you be, sir?"
Is that directed at me?
Yeah.
Quite obviously, yes.
Abe takes off his hat and just does his best military bow and says, "Abraham Murray, my good man, a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
You get a crisp hat pop, and you all wish he hadn't done that. Because if it's not his brain showing, it damn near looks like it.
Ow.
Well, I'm glad that I had affliction.
You think generally would be okay? We've been traveling around with Abe this entire time, and Abe doesn't affect us whatsoever.
Well,
Yeah, but we can see Abe's brain.
right.
Going on.
Yeah.
Abe looks like he lives in a cave, but he's at least fairly symmetrical.
I feel like I can keep my face relatively like straight because hey, I grew up in the circus. There were
Yeah, that's right.
plenty of freaks in there. Anyway,
Oh,
so yeah, I'm not a Nosferatu or a Primogen. I'm just Frankie.
Probably
Francis Walk, or if you need to know.
that might even be worth a nickel.
What's worth it?
because you worked with freak shows, you'd be like, that's worth a nickel to go. Wow.
Right. Make a killing.
A whole nickel.
Yeah, he's like, good evening, Frankie. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
He sort of goes around the circle. Hephaestus and Dermot also make introductions. He goes, like, part of the totem crew. Splendid. Noble work. Well done. No losses on the mission. Good?
Where they're supposed to be?
No, it's just everyone's quite curious about the whole thing. Very, very few of us have ventured out past the domain of the immediate city. A few of us have traveled into, and there were reports of unsightly beasts across the bay. But as far
I
as
mean, we've come really far.
You mean they sent us out there with weird magic shit and they didn't even know what was out there for us to encounter? Like they just threw us out there blind?
Yeah.
he's like, I think to be fair, that would have been the case for anyone.
We were the newest ones to join, I guess, so we were kind of like let's send them out, see what happens. I think I'm kind of over it. It's fine. Whatever. We're here. It happened. Also, like, you do know we traveled all the way from, like, the other coast, right? I mean...
Oh, goodness. Which ship did you come in on?
The what? Where? I've never been on a ship in my entire life. Well, no.
Land.
Oh, my, you came overland.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh. Well, that does... Well, I...
What's supposed to...
on you.
Hip hip cupping. Sorry.
Yes.
How long have you? We are properly in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Several months since my sire told me to accompany new growth of this area I should have been down in Los Angeles with I had it. With Alexander Lee,
Yeah.
along with our now glorious Prince Thomas, but received word that there was some change of plans, and we are.
How long have you?
Oh, but a few years. Or actually, no. Not long at all. I came straight from the islands. I made it across on one ship and then looped around on another. It was harrowing and exciting all at the same time.
I can imagine.
Yes, indeed. My poor ghouls. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're just, like, out on the ship, like, I feel like you're just floating out there and you run out of people.
That's why
I'll
my
never-
poor ghouls. Quite unfortunate.
Wow. Well, sounds like an adventure.
But yes, are you looking forward to the awards, the accolades tomorrow or the next evening when we have court?
I
What?
am certainly looking forward to Dr. Stoika. Stoshka.
Fascinating man.
I feel I can learn.
Well, I don't know one way or the other. All I know is what I've heard, and it seems a bit outrageous.
Oh no.
Well,
All right, transitioning to podcast. Well, transitioning back to
All right.
fine.
So for me, Tony has been just the sneaky centaur icon, and John and Sally have been frozen since I came back.
Oh,
Huh.
really?
That's weird.
So
On
the only
our,
people
on our end, it's fine.
Yeah.
the only people like
to just
kind of moving normally is Jared and right now.
you love. You want to turn our camera off and on?
Yeah, right.
You want me to
That's okay. I got the only show I need.
okay. But yes, at about this time, Pip, you find yourself cradled in Mr. Sterling's arms, and cold night air of the bay brushes across your skin as you come back to yourself.
Oh, this is getting out of hand. What happened now?
He's like, but darling, we're alone. There.
She giggles and snuggles close.
He's like, looks like our
Alone.
friend's made another acquaintance.
Oh, I suppose we had better get back in. Oh,
Yes. Fair warning. His name is Reginald A. And he's Nosferatu Primogen.
all right. I might be safe.
Fair warning. Abe is a creature of beauty in comparison.
As a proper Victorian lady, she takes pride in being polite to those who are less fortunate. I shall.
You're gonna be British as fuck about this.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you.
To further punctuate, as he holds the door open for you, he goes, my fellow countrymen, they use the terms bless his heart.
Oh, dear. Well, let us take this shit. Let's go.
And
I had
you
shit.
step into the hall, and you take in the suit and the hat. You were gonna take in the hat, but you were
Ooh.
troubled by the roast beef situation
Oh yeah.
between the collar
Oh,
and the brim.
babe.
It's
Oh my
bad, man.
goodness.
Bad.
No.
I mean, I'm more curious. Like, how did he end up that way? Like,
Well,
does it
he-
just come? Sometimes it just comes out that way.
he might be
Even
very old.
allowed as Frankie?
No.
Okay,
He might be-
I was about to say.
He might be a
Frankie's
higher
learned some
generation. The curse sometimes comes out more strongly the closer you are to Cain, right? It dilutes.
Oh, geez. All right.
But
But yeah, Frankie does not say that.
or it might have just lived a long time. Like sometimes, like your traits get worse as you live century over century.
That's
So
scary. How many personalities is Frankie gonna have? Like, in a while.
well, who knows?
The Sterlings return, and instructions are made, and yes, Mr. Sterling, as advertised, he several miles of rough road, but it appears that you talk now suddenly.
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Although you do recognize that he's a fellow countryman.
Yeah.
From the Glorious Empire. And there's almost enough distraction that he's impeccably dressed and speaks very properly.
I was like, Pip keeps the very like demure eye cast just to, oh,
Go ahead and
We
make
don't
that
make eye
self-control roll once more. Difficulty 4.
Hey,
Spend a willpower.
He absolutely has all the best manners, but do have something to help distract you. No. Wow.
I rolled a 2, an 8, and a 1.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Pip's not having a good night, guys. Oh, shit.
So as pleasantries are exchanged between Mrs. Sterling and Mr. A, it seems they're going to get into a proper
A British off.
British off. Great British off.
Nice.
She
And
freezes up
she goes
mid-sentence. And Mr. Sterling goes, wow, isn't it quite an evening?
Hannah just actually kind of sighs, like, again.
Is there like a record somewhere for this? Wow.
I don't.
Dermot goes, not one that I've kept track of, but I think I have a personal of about 5. In about an hour. Bill?
Yeah?
Do you have a record?
What do you mean?
Of Toreador freezes. Because I'm 3 for the last 15 minutes.
Oh. No. I mean, it happens every once in a while, but thankfully she usually hangs out in dive bars and like out in the skids. So she doesn't often put herself in a position to trigger her thing. It's been happening more recently because we're going to like nice establishments where
Hanging out in the front city.
Oh, Bill, you're the reason you can't have nice things. Reginald is like, hey, is it my impeccable?
Sorry.
And
Hannah just sort of looks at him like, a joke?
he laughs wholeheartedly. Like, Sterling's like, Reginald, my goodness. Excuse me again. And he sweeps up Mrs. Allen, or Mrs. Sterling. No, he sweeps up Mrs. Allen. No.
Holy shit!
What is happening anymore?
Rude.
This one doesn't freeze up randomly.
Trey,
Rude.
gonna hang out with this venture for a while. She doesn't kick out.
And so out the Sterlings go again. And yes, you see that the teeth match the aesthetic, that it's just terrible. Terrible. They're all over.
Wow.
Some aren't the same. Bad. And the laugh, wholehearted though, and everyone seems to be laughing along, but not looking at Reggie.
Does he have like a Prince John from the Foxy Robin Hood? Oh no!
Not quite.
Oh,
But there's
dear.
definitely an affectation to his laughs that is chuckle-worthy on its own. And so Kermit's like, alright, got my shit with y'all long enough, I gotta go yell at somebody. Have a good evening. And he sort of excuses himself.
Yay!
Heads towards the bar. Festus looks over as someone steps inside the establishment and sort of looks around and he's like, non-member has arrived. And he's
Hannah watches with much interest to see what the exchange happened.
I thought you were gonna say Glee.
I hope they get tossed out. Are there any windows on the lower floor? Seems like a defenestration like situation. Ha! We got there.
he installed these windows that can open and close just because of the situation.
The windows are no longer made of wax paper. It's okay.
So after another moment, Mr. Sterling feel that cold air hit you again, and you hear in your ear, darling, we must keep meeting this way.
No.
Oh, you make it worth it, my dear.
Well, I should hope it's mostly my fault.
Yes, yes, it is. In fact, all of it is. You're the reason I'm like this. And
Yes. That's
you're
what
the
every husband
one.
likes to hear.
You're two reasons why I'm like this.
I'm sure your proclivities in life had nothing to do with it.
Of course not.
No, never.
Do you think it's safe to go back in, or shall we just call it an evening?
If you'd like, you can continue to play possum, and I'll just walk you through the hall without having to engage anybody. We could.
Maybe somebody else won't come in and force you to have to be polite with people again.
Plus, this is smart. You're getting it all out before court.
Yeah, actually, yeah. This is good.
We work like that.
Get everybody's manners in now.
If only it worked that way.
Well, we
That's
do
why
have to.
we're gonna be there.
Yeah. Please don't be polite to me. Well, we have to collect Patricia before we leave.
She's there at like the corner next to the door, like waiting, like scared.
Oh,
Oh, for you.
yeah.
I mean, that's still bad, but
She's watched me faint 3 times in the last 15 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right. What's wrong with Mrs.? No, I suppose I'll play possum and we should just call it an evening. I can't.
You are the brains of the relationship, my dear. Well done.
Yeah, as soon as the pleasantries are done and like Dermot's walked away and Festus has walked away and all that's left is Reginald. Bill is like, yeah, I'm leaving. Like, I'm gonna take off.
Peace be with you. I'm going home.
Right.
Away from the bar.
It's like I don't want to end up like this one over here. The gestures sort of towards Mrs. Sterling. So I'm gonna go home.
you can just good time as any.
You get a bowler tap from Red. If any, looking in that direction. He wishes you a good evening. Or hopes to see you at court. He'll excuse himself. So those of you watching Festus walks over to this individual and like looks like he's swirling up, but you've all been close enough. There's nothing in this, and he's acting at a little, and sort of like holds the cup and sort of rocks his head sideways, and the person sort of like spins like nod times too many for a normal human to do with something, then turns around and walks back, and Festus stops sort of up and sort of cracks his neck a little, sort of like crosses his arm and sort of watch out the window.
Hannah's taking all of the mental notes now. She's like, "Oh, this is a diary."
Dear diary, how are you? I'm good.
I'm fine. Also, the eyebrows are fine. They seem to have remained on my face for tonight.
No, it's one eyebrow on the front, one eye.
There you go. Yeah.
And then they flap into the neck.
Hannah then excused herself from German.
I guess we're doing lots of excusing. Time to go?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, did okay,
Yeah,
from
Dermot's-
Reggie,
yeah,
okay,
Reggie's
I was
the
gonna
only
say
one
from Reggie. Like, well, it is getting
too true. Yes, the moon is getting. Good evening. Glad to meet you all.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Sort of.
Yeah,
drifts off
court.
and disappears from view. Just fades out.
I can do that too.
Don't start.
I believe
Don't.
at about that time, you see Mr. Sterling re-enter with Mrs. Sterling, sort of like nods over at Patty, and Patty falls as sort of says to the crowd, he's sort of like, Mrs. Sterling needs her rest. I'm sure you all understand.
Oh yeah.
Hannah looks at Pippa and just sort of like gives her kind of a shit-eating smile for Hannah.
I'm
Really just run out of
Pippa's playing possum. She's not. Ooh. Gonna Alan.
You can feel it even though you're playing possum.
Yeah, I can.
There's a punctuary.
Even though her eyes are completely unfocused and glazed, one of her temples gets a little tense.
I was gonna say, even though you're pretending that your eyes are glazed, the fan kind of pops out of the corner and makes a motion before it comes back down.
We can have that
Damn bastard.
There's a, oh my, that muscle memory must be kicking in.
Oh dear. Guess that can happen.
She's still in there somewhere, everyone. Let's hope it lasts.
Morning, Festus. Don't let the sun hit you. And he sort of slides out, and Festus is like, evening Everett, or morning Everett. And you guys
Peace
slide out.
out.
And as you get outside, you hear in your ear, Pip, should I put you down now, darling, or will we just keep going?
I think we should just. Sorry. I think we should just keep going.
Fine by me. And down the streets of pre-dawn city, on you go like a weird.
I should.
A wedding procedure. That sounds like something.
A pre-seizure wedding?
A pre-seizure?
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
So there ends that evening.
Okay.
Is there anything else to get into the next
No.
night before?
No.
Like I said, Russ is just he is gone hunting, so that is what he has been doing for tonight and for the following night until he has to come back to court.
Hannah. Or Spanish.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Venetian.
Viennese.
Viennese.
Venetian is from Venice.
No. Okay, Venetian. Like an item.
Anna. He speaks most high and common, which is our three sub-dialects of Vienna, Austria.
Got it. I kind of just like to learn stuff, so
I remember this.
you remember. Good job.
This is so useful for you to learn.
Yes.
Says in general, if
Have an open slot.
you're assured that in general, should you ask
No.
Austria, either think you're propositioning them or hand you. So should be fine.
So Hannah does lessons and probably goes over.
Does in fact. Alto, California.
That's it.
The Sterlings just take a day in. Although Pippa does send Mrs. Al or Mrs. Allen, Miss
you're
Allen a banana.
A banana.
A banana? Was that what I just heard?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't get bananas.
Yeah.
I don't even know it, but I do.
They're quite good.
Well, it depends on who's there.
I mean, I rolled Stella, so I don't know. I do Stella thing. Yes. I mean, is this this is the night of court or the night that
No, the
we're?
night before
No, we
court.
still haven't gotten to the night of
Yeah.
court.
It's the in-between night.
Yep.
All right. Well, I mean, Stella probably just finds somewhere to hang out and dance, and probably goes to that new place and has to be entirely introduced to everybody again because she don't know who the heck these people are. Just said like, "Oh, I heard there's a party here."
Well, Abe will go over and facilitate this because only gonna do it 4 times, and then we're done.
So that evening, Stella and Abe are instead introduced. Reginald's there once more. He is there at the door in a little bit of a facade. He actually looks like a normal human being, except he apparently can't get the teeth right. The thing about being.
Oh God.
White people are so.
Yes.
Anyway, and so Stella gets to meet Reginald in his full glory as opposed to his true glory.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I forgot what I actually called Stella's. I don't know, the flying something or others. But anyway, she introduces herself as Stella Crane, and very, very flourishy, affected. She's also very sparkly. It's Stella.
Mr. A is quite taken with showmanship.
Stella being like the type who kind of like is she thought of herself as the friend of the freak sort of. She tries very, very specifically to look at him in the face, but of course does not know the true horror. So
You guys also notice Strauss makes a brief appearance, almost as if, like, I have to be here. Go up. Says hi to Dermot, and then sort of like hi to you, and then leave.
hi and bye.
Yeah, it seems about right.
That's what happens. You guys also notice that a new sign has been put up. So fresh dancer, turned calm. Although This time there is a gross paint blat where it says end. So it's still just the.
Someday.
Again, this tracks for Elysium. I
get it.
I
Because
appreciate it.
never the starlight. It was always the starite or something.
Yeah, well, more of the letters were going off as
Love it.
time would pass.
That's very good. I didn't even catch it till now.
Did I?
Yes. Russ is avenging night. If I have it. Oh, Mrs. Sterling,
Yes.
Everett excuses himself as going to. Well, he asked you if you would like to come along to wedding gift. Mr. and Mrs. Martin Pettis, who were the hand who was getting out at Castro.
Oh, yes, that's correct. How's Patty doing today?
Patty has calmed down to I've been someone's girlfriend for a week status.
Oh, goodness.
Well, as opposed
Poor.
to first day we're dating status, or what you calm down a little.
Yeah.
bit.
Pip agrees to go with. Of course, picking out a wedding gift seems right up her alley.
You guys stop in a few shops. It's very silverware, lifestyle. Then Everett is like, "No, dear. What I think would be exquisite:
What, darling?
livestock."
Like our livestock, or
No. like actual cows or sheep or goats or something.
I am rather fond of sheep.
I don't think they take too much to sheep out here, so perhaps something of the more bovine nature.
Oh, all right. Well, you know best.
Have Elijah work on that. He good around the four-legged beasts.
Yes, he seemed to handle Ulysses quite well.
Ah, yes. Quite. Well done, us.
Yes, indeed.
Being married.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well done, us. Yes, well done.
you head home, and he goes, "Elijah, go buy some cows." And Elijah's like, "Excuse me?" And that's worked out. Russ, while you're out spending the night, I have taken note of basically, there are numbers of ship towns that you can page through, where these are ships that have sailed into port at various places that are abandoned. People rushed east to the Gulf, and that have been constituted as permanent, even and torn apart a bit to create housing. Quite a sight.
Yeah, I mean, he makes note. He makes note of it. I said he makes note of it. He'll he does his little bit of exploring, but he's mostly trying to stay away from people.
I mean, not even shanties. It's boat.
Just a boat.
You know, you cut a hole in the hull,
Yeah.
and then you drag or. And that's
But I
your
mean, like,
door,
I'm
and-
assuming, are they
So-
poor people?
It's
Is
very
that a
much-
houseboat or like a
These are sailing ships that are no longer.
Okay,
That
I just
word.
wasn't sure if it was just sort of like,
like
hey,
a houseboat or a
Straight up a bit.
or a pontoon boat? Nah, just a boat. Weird. Very cute and strange.
There are some situations where houses have been made off of like,
Wow.
and that effectively.
Yeah.
It's wild.
All right.
Who else?
Did you get that, John, for your test?
Bill is out of frame. So
It's fine, nothing.
We'll go to the barn.
So Bill walks into a bar, and the bartender looks up to her and says, I
Don't know how to finish that one.
no, I
Right.
Well, yeah,
fantasy in you.
does Bill tell Delia there? Delia didn't come along, did she?
She was not. No.
No.
Does Bill tell Delia about New Elysium?
I imagine she would. Yeah. But
Does she want to go to the dance hall?
yeah.
Ooh.
So we'll resolve that when we get back to it. Are getting. Anything else? Anyone else covered before we skip another night?
I would like to roll for hunting, like I said, but
Yeah, make the wits plus. Are we hunting humans or animals?
animals.
Wits plus survival.
Survival.
7.
Maybe a 4.
Yeah, you're able to catch some larger range city out south a bit. You're able to pull out. Back down.
Works for me.
Cool.
You finally refilling that empty tank?
Yeah, it's getting there. He was a mite famished.
Wee bit peckish.
Okay.
Oh, I should roll again, huh?
So if no other business for that evening, besides Julia,
Nice.
That would be fun.
and then we'll get in or after that. So yeah, we'll call this it or
Okay.
Empire for a while after this. So take good notes. Get me those pictures. Could be good for. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Probably on track for Scion as well.
Should be. Yep.
Get that good double feature this week. Alan. A. Cool. So with that, go ahead and say good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
I broke the point off of my thumbnail.
Hmm.
No.